everybody, it's Mrs. King, and that's right, we made it to the very last art lesson of the school year, and I'm gonna make this one that everybody can enjoy. It'll be fun, it'll be creative, and we're gonna get to do a little bit of artistic experimentation. See, I'm outside here with my buddy Luke Cage, and he and I are gonna do a little bit of bubble painting today. He's probably not going to help as much as I am, but you never know. Sometimes he likes to get involved. He had some paint on his face the other day, and he didn't seem to mind. Okay, so you're going to need a few supplies to do this project today. You're going to need some paper. I'd suggest grabbing a few pieces because I think you'll have fun. Grab some straws. Grab some... I'm using liquid tempera paint, but you can use watercolor paint, you can use food coloring. I would bet you could also even use acrylic. However, acrylic, if it gets all over the place, can be much harder to clean up. So make sure you're outside or in a safe spot to do your work. You're gonna need a bowl or a dish. I'm using some glass dishes and I'll show you those in a second, but any small bowl or dish will work. And some dish soap. I'm using Palmolive. It doesn't matter what brand. The cheaper the better. You don't want to spend a lot of money on this. And water. That's all you're going to need for this fun little project. Okay, so here's what you need to do. You're going to take your food coloring or liquid watercolor or liquid tempera paint, and you're going to put it into a container of water. I didn't use a ton of water. You can always add more. And I just put a couple squirts of color in there. You can always add more of that as well. Then what I did was I took some of my dish soap and I squirted some of that in as well. Probably about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons worth, but it's all an experiment. Take your straw, and actually what I suggest is mix it up first with the straw before you blow bubbles into it. That way you know the color and the water and the soap are mixed up. Then you want to blow bubbles in there. Don't blow too hard or you're going to end up with soap and food coloring or paint all over your face and clothes. You don't want that. Now, take your piece of paper and you're going to gently set it down on top of the bubbles, and you're going to be creating a print by letting the bubbles and the color stick to the paper. You can repeat this process as many times as you'd like, and you can use as many colors as you'd like as well. I did this a few times, as you can see. You can fill up your entire paper with color and bubble print, or you can just put a few of them on your paper. The fun part about this, one of the fun parts about this, is you get to choose. Clearly, I had a lot of fun with this. I did an awful lot of prints. This is what my first print looked like when it was finished. It was kind of fun. Really neat to look at all the bubbles and the color on the paper. Then I did this with the tempera paint, water, and bubble mix, and I found that the color was a lot brighter. This is what my tempera paint finished print looked like. By the way, if you find that it's hard to blow bubbles into your paint mixture, make sure you add a little more water. I found it difficult at first as well, and once I added a little more water, it made it a lot easier. Okay, so what do you do with these prints when you're done? Well, they can be kept just as is. You can make cards out of them or stationery out of them. You can make colored paper out of them. There's all kinds of things you can do. The other thing I find that's really kind of fun is taking a look at what the prints actually end up making and creating something fun out of those, something out of your imagination. Let me show you what I chose to do. After staring at these bubbles for a little bit, I started to see some little silly faces in here. I was going to use a pencil and I thought, why bother? I'm going to use a marker or a pen and just make it permanent. Take a little risk. So I made these silly characters. Took me a little while to see some faces in here, but I thought they were kind of fun. They were simple. These little guys had to have a pet, right? So there's their pet blobby pet thing. And here's my finished drawing on top of my bubble prints. I had an awful lot of fun doing this. There are a few things that Mrs. King learned during this lesson though. Don't wear a white shirt while you're doing this. Also, it's a good idea to put a piece of paper underneath your paint dishes so if the paint bubbles over, it doesn't spill onto the ground or something else. And it's a really good idea to have extra straws and a napkin nearby just in case you need them. Well, I guess Luke didn't really end up helping me out too much with this project, but that's okay. He supervised, and that's why I did such a good job. At least I had fun. I hope you have a wonderful time with your project. I have really enjoyed being your art teacher this year and getting to interact with each of you. Thank you so much for making my time during our time at home even more wonderful by sending in all of your videos and pictures. They have meant everything to me. I hope you have a wonderful summer. Keep an eye on my website because I'll continue to leave art lessons up there, and I might post new things over the summer as well. Stay creative, be good, have fun, and I'll see you soon.